Today, the Cage Center is a central part of our campus life. Everybody goes to the Cage Center, comes through the Cage Center. But when I arrived in 2006, it was just in the design phases. And we didn't break ground until that fall. So before that, we had the Ford Gymnasium, we had Richard's Gym. One's 80 years old. Richard's Gym was built by students with Barry-made bricks, student-made bricks back in the 30s. So we had 150 years of gymnasiums. Yep. But they were also, they were a great place. Ford was a great place to play. It was like I said, it was hot, it was crammed, it was loud, little kids playing up in the bleachers of it. But it didn't stand up well against most high school gymnasiums. Yep. So it was time for something new, and you were involved with the design of Cage. I was. And as I understand it, those old structures had a certain smell to them as well. we left that unnoticed. Okay, thank you for that.
So when I arrived at Barry 22 years ago, it was a priority to enhance our athletic facilities. And so that would be what is now the Cage was a priority. And so the location was built on a site that was once had something called the Moon Woods. Moon Woods because they were adjacent to Moon Building. And so faculty liked to do research there. Students would hike through there. Some of those woods were damaged by a storm.
Must be loved, though. Everybody loved the Moon Woods. So.
They did. And so to clear the site to build the Cage Center, which is 150,000 square feet, those woods were taken out and the site was cleared and leveled and the building was constructed. But what a lot of folks don't know is when they cleared the site and started digging to put the foundation in, they found a giant sinkhole under the building. And so there are lots of sinkholes on the Barry campus, but this sinkhole was so huge they had to dig down really deep, and it was so deep that the excavator machine that was down at the bottom digging, you could barely see it when you were looking down. And so what they ended up doing was they had to dig all the way down till they reached solid rock, and then they poured something called grout in these big cement trucks in, and grout is basically cement. And they filled it up until there was enough concrete in there, basically, that you could build the piers of the building on and set the foundation.
So between Cranor and Cage, we have enough concrete to have built a stadium, essentially, right? We have a
Lots
stadium
of concrete, yes, that's right,
Great.
That's right.
Great.
And so when the building was constructed, they had a big basketball game to kick off the building being new. And so the teams were the construction workers against the physical plant, as it was then called, and facilities workers, which is Barry staff people. And so the Barry staff had a ringer, and he was the construction manager that we hired, who was an ex-point guard from Georgia Tech. Okay. And so we won the game.
We won the first game at the Cage Center.
Won the first game.
Great. Right. So one final fun fact about the Cage Center is that they're next to the pool, there's actually a well that goes down.
That's
and
correct.
They monitor the level of the aquifer under the campus because the Cage is sitting
That's right.
with an aquifer right underneath of it, which is why the diving area is not deeper. It's because
That's exactly right.
Didn't go any deeper. So.
And you can still look into a opening in that area and see the actual water levels in the aquifer to this day.
So the Cage Center has been a valuable part of the campus experience. But it's also the thing that allowed us to move eventually to D3. So that'll be one of the next part of our story.
Yep, that's exactly right.